for every pound of lithium that goes into an electric vehicle, it can be 20 to 30 pounds of nickel. Right? So nickel is what makes it drive farther and longer and keep the charge longer. So a world that wants to decarbonize, and a world that looks for distributed energy, a world that is yearning towards electrification, nickel is massively important. And last thing I'll say, the thing that's most fascinating about it to me is you can find a relatively small gold mine, right? If the ore is rich enough and the life of mine is 4 years, it's probably worth it if it's shallow enough. But there are no small nickel mines. It's all massive. So it's kind of fascinating. You could hide the existence of a platinum mine. You can hide the existence of lots of kinds of mines, but you cannot hide breaking ground on a nickel mine. So there's kind of wildly clear transparency globally as to how much nickel there is, how much is in the ground, how much is coming online, how much is being worn off every year. It's got all the very exciting dynamics of a really, really interesting market.
Fascinating, really, really fascinating. So tell us a little bit about how you see that nickel market developing then, because it's going to be an essential part of the future of battery technology, etc.
Yeah, it's always hard to predict, especially the future. But in this instance, should you believe in the growth estimates of electronification, and I don't need to get into a fight about global warming and coal. Coal's near and dear to my heart. You've got rational reasons why there's going to be a huge amount of demand for nickel, whether it's in distributed energy for more resilient grids. We all know the problem with wind is that wind is really far away from population centers for a good reason, because no one wants to live in a windy plateau, right? So a lot of the things where alternative energy is, those technologies are finally coming within a reasonable cost range, minus subsidies. Once you have that, the thing that makes alternative energy work really well is battery storage. So when you look at the dynamics of electric flight, electric cars, electric trucks, all that stuff, whether they're autonomous or not, it makes a lot of sense to move towards those industries. I know skeptics I respect greatly who are older than I am and have told me that at least 4 times in their 40-year career, battery technology is about to take off. Right. So I think this time the proof is more that there's there. And so if you believe all that, the demand is huge. The demand is absolutely huge. And the current supplies that we know exist, we have a good estimate of how much is there. And we also therefore know what that gap is. And over the years, you can go look at other firms that do this for a living and buy their data sets, as we have. There's just going to be a massive deficit coming in the next few years. And it's going to grow absent discovery of so much bigger deposits, which we think we've got a good idea of where they are.